So it is a direct assault on people like me who help remove things from your credit. About collection companies, I would like to say this. Most people want to pay what they owe. Most people think that, okay, if a collection company is coming after me, I have to pay this because I owe it. I'd like to share a horror story with you. I had a client of mine who paid a collection company. Unfortunately, the collection company didn't actually own the debt. What they owned was the person's information. After paying the collection company in full, the debt was still owed because the original creditor, who happened to be a cell phone company, I won't mention any names, Verizon, still came after the client for the money, even though the money had been paid to a so-called collection company that was representing them. So, to this end, let me just say that collection companies, if they are not the holder in due course of your contract, if they do not legitimately own the debt, then they have no right, no legal right whatsoever to report anything to the credit bureaus, nor do they have the right to come after you via phone, mail, whatsoever. We are completely set up to shut this down and remove these collections from your credit. If they are indeed legitimate, then it is what it is. But what I have found is that 90% of the time, the collection company merely purchases your information for pennies on the dollar. They come after you for a debt that they cannot validate. And that's the key. If they cannot validate the debt, then there is no debt. The key is this: do you have a contract with this collection company? Have you sat down and had a meeting of the minds with this collection company? Do they have your signature and agreement to pay them for this debt? Or is it just a bully type, muscle over you, we're going to put it on your credit if you don't pay us type scenario, which is exactly what happens in most cases. Here's the way we do it. We're going to take the collection company and we're going to submit a validation form. The form is pursuant to the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and the Fair Credit Reporting Act. These two acts require that the collection company produce some information to validate that they do own this debt. One of the things that I have yet to see from any collection company, and it has been very simple for me to get it off of their credit with the exception of a few who have fought it to no avail, they must show documentation where they have not only your promissory note with your original signature on it from the lender, but that they have a valid affidavit from the company who supposedly has your original debt submitted to them, giving them permission and ownership. If they do not have this affidavit, they cannot come after you. Well, let me tell you something. They almost never do. It costs them too much to purchase that. Here's another thing. A collection company can never own more than 50% of your debt. So if they collect the entire debt, whether they are legitimate or not, guess what? You still owe 50% to the original creditor. So this is just kind of a quick synopsis on collection companies and the degree of fraud that they commit in coming after you. Upon validation, upon request of validation, when I put them on notice, they must immediately stop all reporting. And if they don't, it's a $1,000 fine according to the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. That fine is payable directly to the customer. They are then turned in to the Federal Trade Commission and any other federal regulatory company that or division that monitors them. And believe me, they get hit hard. So that said, have a happy Easter, and we'll talk more about collections later. Thank you.